What's up? What's up? What's up? I was just, thinking again. Like thinking, talking, and listening. Thinking, talking with other people, of course. Thinking and talking and listening puts you in contact with the power of collective intelligence and intellect, the gift of intelligence and imagination. And that's where solutions are. Yeah. Thinking, talking, and listening. Learning, you know what I mean? Thinking, talking, and listening. Learning puts you in a conscious contact with the collective power and gift of intellect and imagination. And I was thinking, and now I'm gonna talk. And what I was thinking is like, why is it that people feel like we gotta live fast? You know what I mean? Like, why do we have to? Like, why? Why is it that the generation, the generations, the next generations keep getting deeper and deeper into this, like the mindset of using dope as if it's as if it's them, like in protest to or in protest to the like it's counterculture. Like in the '60s, it was counterculture, and it was against the powers that be, to like psychedelics and smoking weed, and like, this is our body, we can do what we want with our body. I get that, I understand that, and experimenting with drugs because they're around, right, is almost inevitable for a lot of people, if not most, because they're here. Why are they here? They're here to kill and control. I'm not talking about medicine. I'm not talking about therapies that are used to in a mental health capacity. I'm talking about controlling and killing drugs. I'm talking about fentanyl. I'm talking about cocaine, crack, crystal meth, heroin, and even cocaine back in the day were considered medicine until it was criminalized. Because people were getting hooked and people were dying, and I feel like it's because they realized that they could, because people were getting addicted to it, and it was a power, it was a form of power that is why it was criminalized. So and since then, since it's been criminalized, since these drugs have been available and criminalized and available, it's been used just like the fucking smallpox blanket. It's like a modern fucking day smallpox blanket. And if you're rich, affluent, and have access to treatment and money to get out of trouble, then basically you lightweight have the cure to the smallpox. You have a cure, you have a remedy that the masses, that the majority, which is working people, don't have access to, like the highest quality treatments and lawyers, especially, to get out of fucking trouble, or privilege, or skin tone privilege. So not everybody has this three combination of remedies. So like, other than that, I'm thinking more along the lines of, why is it the kids, I say kids because I'm a fucking middle-aged man. I'm 42 years old, so I'm going on halfway to 80. I'm past halfway to 80, so I'm a middle-aged person. And why is it that the younger generations feel like it's liberating to use dope. It's like trying to stay warm in a smallpox blanket. And what? Oh, my folks is doing a mural right there. So because the generations ahead, like my generation who dropped the ball like fuck, and generations ahead of me who dropped the ball like fuck, didn't keep pushing for justice, didn't keep pushing for equality, didn't keep pushing for liberation from the oppressive nature of society that we live in, which is profit motive ran and capitalist based. Greed. I always need more. What I have is not enough. I need more. Even though I have more than you, I still want to take yours. You see what I'm saying? This aggression, this disease of greed manifested on a collective base, like through miseducation and teaching people that we don't have the ability to change. We learn this. We're not allowed. I was not allowed in middle school to talk about alternatives to socialism. So I hopefully that the kids these days do. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear kids around the world sharing about how, we keep going this way, we're fucking gonna die. Kids around the world are more conscious than my generation was, because my generation just barely saw, when I was young, when I was that age, we barely saw the effects of global warming beginning, say 20, 25 years ago. Like what we saw was Rodney King. We saw the very first videotaped beating of police officers beating a black man unjustly. That's what we saw. And it was it felt like, because we only saw it once, it felt like an isolated incident. Although we did take to the streets, we demonstrated, there was riots, there was walkouts of classrooms, there was demonstrations in organizations, there was anti-war demonstrations happening. So there was movements happening. But we got like, COVID put a microscope on everything, put a magnifying glass on everything, and gave us time to sit and look at things. Anyway, so like the problem with kids is they're like, fuck it, I gotta live fast because this shit ain't gonna last anyway. You see what I'm saying? The generations ahead of us didn't leave us with much to work with, and haven't given us enough education or sense of open-mindedness to try and collectively come up with solutions to the problems that were given to us. And it's just like that. That's why kids think that they have to live fast and are willing to die to feel good, because we haven't designed a society, we haven't cultivated a society that helps people learn how to feel good in a healthy way. Like we haven't, man. We've cultivated consumers. That's what we've cultivated. Imagine this. Everybody with a phone knows how to order things online, right? Everybody with the phone knows how to order things online, knows how to scroll Netflix, knows how to scroll fucking, pornography, knows how to scroll all this shit, and like has access to information, but we don't have like a very good sense of how to put the information into use. And what we don't know is like information, what isn't made, readily available in education is solution oriented thinking, meaning thinking, having discussions, and listening to learn, and collectively coming up with solutions. So that's my almost my 10-minute 2 cents. With that being said, peace and power to the people. I love you. And if that doesn't help you, tell yourself. I swear to God, it'll help. You tell yourself I love you 3 or 4 times during the daytime. Look yourself in the eyes in the mirror, or anytime you pass a glass. You don't have to say it out loud. You just make eye contact with yourself and you say I love you. It's an act of self-love. And even though you might not believe it at first, the more you do it, the more it becomes true, because you're actually actively loving yourself. You're telling yourself that you're worth it. And that's what kids don't get. Kids don't get that they're worth a future, because we haven't given them information, or allow them to even, use their imagination to improve things. We just tell them to believe this. Belief makes you a subject of judgment. Thinking, discussing, listening to learn puts you in touch with the collective power and gift of intellect and imagination. Peace. Have a beautiful weekend. There's a poem in the caption.